I start my morning at the courthouse. As usual, I'm 10 minutes late, breathless and hoping a power outage or a malfunctioning smoke detector might save me from yet another day of settling cases no one cares about. As usual, fate isn't listening. It's a cold and rainy morning here in Madison, Wisconsin, typical for October. But the fall chill isn't the only reason for the goosebumps on my skin and the pit in my stomach. It's this feeling I can't shake that something is wrong. It started when I woke up this morning, the image from a disturbing dream fading quickly from my mind, but not from my body. I was trapped someplace dark and no one could hear me screaming. Just nerves, I told myself. I get like that on days I have to be in court first thing. And if I'm being honest with myself, getting divorced didn't help my generalized anxiety disorder. It's been a year now, but still not used to living alone, and most nights I have trouble sleeping. I'm 30 years old, I'm a lawyer, and I'm afraid of the dark. I drop my umbrella into the holder near the entrance and hurry onto the elevator, trying to shake that feeling and focus on work. My clients today are public defender appointments, which means there's a 50-50 shot they'll even show up. A lot of PD clients stand me up, perhaps on the assumption that my representation is worth about as much as the state requires them to pay for it. The ones that do show up usually only offer me hostility, resentment, and outlandish explanations for their legal troubles. Spiteful exes. Shady police tactics. The reigning champ has to be the drunk driver who introduced himself by telling me that this whole thing started 20 years ago when I worked at KFC. I get off on the 7th floor and check in with the bailiff. "Morning, Lilith," he says. "Hi, Ray." I smile even though I don't feel like it, the way a lot of women do. "I think I have a couple this morning." He runs his finger down the list. "Turner and Wallace," he replies. "Looks like only Mr. Turner is here so far." "Okay, thanks, Ray," I say, grabbing the files from my bag. He leans in close. "You being careful out there, Lilith? I hear they found another one last night." My heart drops to my stomach. There it is. "A girl who lived on Langdon," Ray continues. "Pre-med, I think." That makes 4 victims so far. No, I hadn't heard. Not sure if the press has caught wind of it yet, but I heard some detectives talking about it down by Judge Watkins' courtroom earlier. The other 3 were women in their 20s, strangled. I wonder about the latest victim. I wonder how many details Ray overheard. "Did they say anything else?" I ask. His face darkens. "You mean, was there anything missing?" I nod. "The hands." He purses his lips. "Guy took both of them. Last time it was the victim's hair. Before that, her eyes. When are they going to find him?" I say. He shakes his head. "Better be soon or campus is going to empty out. Who's going to send their daughter to a place where she might get butchered walking home at night?" I glance over my shoulder to see if I can spot my client. "A pepper blaster," he says. "What?" I reply, turning back to him. "You ought to get yourself a pepper blaster. You hit a guy in the face with that and he'll be a puddle for about 45 minutes. "Thanks for the tip," I say. Just past a throng of men in puffy coats and sports caps, I spot Ryan Turner, my first client. He's been accused of shoplifting a pair of AirPods. He might have gotten away with it, except he rode out of the store on a bicycle he stole from the sporting goods section. He's 22 with a scruffy beard, greasy long hair, and a gray trench coat that reeks of cigarette smoke. He's waiting for me on a bench outside the courtroom. "Ryan," I say, extending my hand. "I'm Lilith Bates. I've been appointed to represent you." He offers me a half smile and shakes my hand. "Hey." I take a seat next to him, opening his file. "I read the police report." Shoving his hands into his pockets, he leans back with a scowl. "It's all bullshit." "I was going to try to frame it as a prank gone bad. You can frame it as a go to hell." I flip through a few pages. "Says here you're charged with misdemeanor theft and resisting arrest." He clenches his jaw. Unbelievable. Cop nearly broke my arm when he put the cuffs on me. I scan the hallway for Shelley Cooper, the assistant DA assigned to his case. She's the worst of the lot. Loves lecturing defense attorneys on how drugs and violence are a scourge plaguing the city. Likes to bluff and watch people squirm. "You in school?" I ask. He shakes his head. "You got a job?" He shakes his head. Okay, I sigh. Let me talk to the DA and see what I can do. A few minutes later, I sit across from Shelley in a cramped conference room furnished with a small metal table and mismatched chairs that teeter back and forth. She's a petite woman in her mid-40s with spiky white hair and a permanent frown. She likes to come off as a noble prosecutor in search of justice, but everyone knows she's full of it. Shelley likes to win, period. I don't bother trying to break the ice. In the 5 years I've known her, I've learned one true thing about Shelley Cooper. She hates me. So what do you think we can do here? I say. This one seems like one of those TikTok challenges gone awry. She cocks an eyebrow. More like the Darwin Awards. Cop was pretty rough with him, I say. Is that what he told you? He fell off the bike, Lilith, right in front of the security guard. He was so drunk I'm amazed he even made it through the exit door. I drop my eyes to the file, trying to think up a better defense. It's not actually clear to me how far he made it since you still haven't released the security footage. If he didn't make it all the way through the exit, I'm not sure you can argue he intended to permanently deprive the owner. Save it, Lilith. 1 year probation, no alcohol or drugs, no being within 500 feet of a target. Take it or leave it. That's the best I'm going to do, I can tell by the look on her face. I was thinking deferred prosecution. Leave it open for 6 months, and if he doesn't get in any more trouble, you withdraw the complaint. Ha, she laughs. With his record, he's got a disorderly conduct in an open container in the past year alone. Both civil offenses, Shelley. Come on, he's young. He still has a chance to turn things around. Criminal record won't do him any good. Should have thought of that before he decided to play grand theft bike while he's 3 sheets to the wind. A jury might not believe he had any real intent to steal. This was a bad joke. She shrugs. Then take it to trial. I know I'm pissing into the wind with her. It's always like this with Shelley. I'll present the offer to my client, let you know by the end of the day. But I've advised him that your case is weak. He has a real chance to beat this. That's a lie, but I have to save face somehow. She clips the next file from her stack. You've got Mimi Wallace too, right? Mimi is one of my repeat clients, a hooker who dabbles in possession of narcotics. I haven't seen her yet, but she's one of my few clients who never misses court. Yeah, I've got her, I say. A prostitution charge, right? She hands me a sheet of paper. I'm adding on possession too. The detective found a goodie bag in her purse. Sent it to the lab. Heroin. I take the lab report and head for the door. What are you offering? I say. She makes a face, scribbling a note in the file. Haven't decided yet, but if she doesn't show up today, I'm charging her with bail jumping too. She still has another open case. With the way she talks to us, sometimes I think Shelley forgets she's just a DA, not everyone's mom. Don't worry, Shelley, she'll be here. I give Ryan Turner the offer and he leaves in a huff. $10 says I never see him again. Another hour ticks by as the hallway thins out. Mimi still hasn't shown. My phone vibrates in my pocket. I recognize the number. Lilith Bates, I answer, trying to keep my voice even as my cheeks flush. I need you in my bed right now, Jack says. I laugh quietly and glance around to see who might be standing within earshot. Who is this? I saunter toward the jury room a few yards away, the quietest corner of the 7th floor when trials aren't in session. Very funny, he says. When can I see you? My shift starts at 2, but I'm not going to be able to concentrate until you leave me quivering and spent. I try to suppress a grin, but it isn't working. Are all cops this libidinous? When we're trying to avoid paperwork? Yes. How about a coffee break? I glance down the hallway again, looking for a sign of Mimi. No dice. Sure, your place or mine? Yours, he says. It's closer to work. Yeah, but it's musty. And the walls are so thin, I'm pretty sure the neighbors can hear everything. It's the only place I've been able to afford since my divorce. That makes it all the more exciting, he purrs. I'll be there in half an hour. Mimi still hasn't shown, so I poke my head into the conference room where Shelley's piling a stack of files into a banker's box. Hey, I say, Mimi Wallace had an emergency come up, but she'll be here this afternoon. Can we set it over until 3 o'clock? I don't usually lie to DAs, but I figure it's not really a lie. Mimi's never missed court, so if she isn't here, there must be an emergency. Shelley glances up at me. Not a minute past or I'm requesting a bench warrant. Thanks, I say. For nothing. Unlike Mimi, Jack shows up right on time. We've known each other for 7 years, since my 2nd year of law school. He used to be officer, Jack Hunt, not detective like he is now. I had to do a police ride-along with him for my criminal procedure class. Jack took me out on a muggy September night, pointing out all the bad areas of town that I never knew about before. Places where people go to do things that can only be done in the dark. Like the storage place off the Beltline Highway with no security cameras, where Johns take hookers. Or the tattoo parlor wedged between an adult bookstore and a birthing center on the east side, where they sell meth, fentanyl, and coke in the back. He was a brooding detective trapped in the body of a beat cop back then. I was instantly hooked on his dark eyes and general gloominess. We dated for a few months, but drifted once school got more intense for me and he was up for detective. We reconnected when we ran into each other at the courthouse a few weeks ago. "God, your hair smells so good," he moans, dropping his holster onto the kitchen table and taking me into his arms. We fumble our way to my bedroom, tugging and unzipping. I can taste rainwater on his face. Being with him usually distracts me from my absentee clients and past due bills, but today I can't help but think of Mimi while Jack holds me down over the side of the bed, nibbling on my ear and rubbing his hands all over me. "If you were a hooker, where would you be?" I whisper. "Huh?" he mumbles, pulling away. "Is this something new we're trying?" "No," I laugh. "It's this client of mine. She didn't show up today. She always shows up." He raises an eyebrow. "Always? Maybe that's the problem. She messed up one too many times and she knows at some point they're going to put her away." I shake my head, hoisting myself onto the bed. "That isn't it. She's a prostitute, has a drug problem. I could get her rehab or something. I told her that." Jack shrugs. "Can't save everyone, Lilith." He takes a seat next to me, combing my hair back with his fingers and kissing my neck. I lean into his touch, even though my mind is still back at the courthouse. "Ray said they found another one." He pulls back again. "Okay, I'm beginning to think it's me. Do I have bad breath or something?" I slip my arm around him and we curl back onto the bed together. "I'm sorry," I say as he spoons me. "It was just a weird morning. Ray said the cops found another victim last night, a pre-med student?" He sighs. "Yeah, her parents are driving down from up north today." "Why didn't you say something?" He shrugs. "I don't like bringing work home with me." "Who do you think's doing it?" He mumbles, tightening his arms around me. "We're not sure yet. Seems like all the girls were living a double life of sorts." "What do you mean?" "They were all corresponding with men online, meeting up with them. Isn't that how everyone dates nowadays?" He chuckles mirthlessly. "Not that kind of meeting. They were doing it for money." Mimi's image pops into my head again. Where the hell is she? "Hey," Jack whispers in my ear. "Don't worry, we're going to catch the guy. Sooner or later they all mess up." I love that he's trying to reassure me, but it isn't working. That feeling I've had since this morning isn't going away. Did he cut off her hands? He drops his face against the back of my neck, nodding. "We shouldn't talk about this anymore." A memory of us years ago flashes in my mind. That night he took me on a ride along in his squad car. He offered to drive me home after. "I don't want to go home," I'd told him. "Where do you want to go?" he'd said. "With you. I want to be with you." He drove me an hour down Highway 113, through a haze of late summer mist before turning onto a dirt road that ended at a pond. There was no moon hanging over the water, no cool breeze twirling through my hair, no bluesy melody humming softly from the radio. It was just me and Jack and the thick, wet air, shrouded in a cocoon of metal, glass, and low-hanging branches. Our own little world that I wished I never had to leave. He's had a hold on me ever since. Just like that night 7 years ago, I still just want to be with Jack. Sometimes I wonder if that's why my ex ran off with that patent lawyer. Maybe he sensed that I'd never let him in. Not the way I did with Jack. "I missed you after we broke up," he whispers as though reading my mind. His voice slaps me back to the present. "I did too," I say, my wrists suddenly aching. "Why did we break up?" he says. I roll over and pull him toward me, our bodies intertwining. I let him wash over me like the rain thudding against the bedroom window. As I close my eyes, Mimi's image reappears in my mind, but quickly dims as we lose ourselves in each other. When Jack whispers, "I love you," she disappears completely. That afternoon, I go back to the courthouse, wondering what I'm going to tell Shelley. The 7th floor hallway is empty since the afternoon status conferences won't start for another half an hour. I go around the corner to check the hallway that leads to the jury room, but no luck. That's when she appears, seemingly out of nowhere. She's blonde, wearing a billowy black coat and a short skirt that exposes her bruised legs. She's got dark sunglasses on. When she steps closer, I smell car exhaust and cherry cough drops. Mimi, I think to myself. Are you Lilith Bates? She says. Yes. She slides off the sunglasses, revealing blue eyes that are glassy with tears. Mimi has brown eyes. Who are you? I ask. I'm Jennifer, she says. I'm a friend of Mimi's. Oh, do you know where she is? No, she answers, shaking her head. She told me you were her lawyer. She offers an embarrassed smile. She'd kill me if she knew I were here. What's going on? She crosses her arms, rubbing her hands up and down the pilled fabric of her coat. I've been trying to find her. She won't answer my texts, hasn't been home in 2 days. We share a room in one of the old houses on East Johnson. I knew she had court today. She planned on being here. She should be here. Her eyes linger on mine as we let those words hang in the air. She should be here. After a long silence, I say, when was the last time you saw her? Sunday night. She came home late. I could tell she'd been crying. She pauses, turning to the window and pressing her fingertips into the glass, tracing a line of raindrops. She's been using more lately. The drops suddenly burst like fireworks, scattering into chaos. I figured it's because doing what we do isn't easy, she whispers. We meet a lot of bad guys. I'm sure you do, I say. Did she meet a particularly bad one recently? She nods, dropping her head and wiping a tear from her cheek. Do you think he did something to her? Reaching into her pocket, she pulls out a rabbit's foot keychain and hands it to me. It's soft and gray, with a bright red key dangling from the end. A familiar shade, like a fire engine or a ruby. She gave it to me just in case, Jennifer says. It's the only thing she could take from him without him noticing. My pulse quickens. What's his name? She didn't know his real name. She shakes her head. She called him the Big Bad Wolf. I haven't been here in 7 years, but Angelic Tattoos is right where I remember it. Just off the Beltline Highway, a tiny brick structure with a half-lit neon sign hanging in the window and a white pickup truck parked in front. The bells hanging above the front door jingle when I slip inside. The entryway is dim, except for the strings of white fairy lights that line the ceiling. I smell incense and fast food, hear muffled voices along with the strains of a familiar Bob Marley tune coming from the beaded curtain behind the register. Who's there? A disembodied voice demands. My voice catches in my throat. Sorry, I'm just looking. Looking at what, Lilith? A hulk of a man emerges from behind the beaded curtain in a hail of click-clacks. Cotton candy beard, black hoodie, and the shoulders of a linebacker. He gives me the once-over and punches a series of keys on the till. He isn't smiling, but I don't think that means anything in a place like this. Help you? He says, pulling a stack of bills from the register and counting. I try to think of a good excuse for why I'm here, but I'm coming up short. It's for my husband, I stammer. He would like a tattoo. What kind? He says, slamming the drawer shut. My eyes scan the countertop, the series of one-hitters for sale behind the glass, the row of album covers hanging on the far wall. Pink Floyd, Miles Davis, Jimi Hendrix. I don't think they have what I'm looking for. Look, he says, leaning in close, if you're a cop or something. No, I reply quickly, my eyes falling on a rack of keychains at the other end of the counter. Looks the same as it did 7 years ago when Jack took me here. My heart drops to my stomach when I spot the gray rabbit's foot. This, I say, pointing to it, I was looking for one of these. You came here looking for a keychain? He says. Yes. He nods subtly, almost imperceptibly. Those aren't for sale. What? Nothing in here is for sale, for you. Before I can object, he motions to the door. Just get out of here. I knew I should have changed out of my work clothes before I came. I'm wearing a black suit with sensible loafers and a nylon raincoat. I might as well have worn a sandwich board that says, anything you do or say can be held against you in a court of law. It isn't like that, I say, lowering my voice. I have a client, a working girl. She's missing. I just want to know if she's been in here." He makes a face, eyeing me up and down again, looking for signs of deception. "Who are you with?" "No one. I'm a solo defense lawyer. She's my client. I'm trying to get her out of a sticky case right now, but she didn't show up for court. I'm not a cop, I swear." "Who are you looking for?" "Her name's Mimi. Blonde, 25. My eyes drift toward the beaded curtain that leads to the back room. 7 years ago, Jack told me that's where the real business takes place. Meth, coke, fentanyl. She's into heroin, if that jogs your memory." He thinks for a moment, shakes his head. "Sorry. There has to be an explanation for where that keychain came from." "Can I have one of those?" I say, pointing to the rack. "A gray one?" He goes to the rack and slips one off, handing it to me. "On the house," he says. "Thanks." I tuck it into my pocket and head for the door. "You know," he says behind me, "I haven't seen your girl in here, or even any working girls in here lately. They've all been scared off by that creep running around chopping them up." I turn around to face him. "That's why I'm worried about her." He pauses, probably weighing how much to tell me. "We have gotten a few cops." I freeze, his words like a punch to the gut. "What?" I say. "Actually, it's more like one in particular." Later, I go to Jack's place to wait for him. He won't get off until around 2 o'clock in the morning, so I try to sleep, but I can't. He lives in a renovated tobacco factory on the far west side of town. All the units have been divvied up into white and beige tombs with vaulted ceilings and exposed beams. I like being here, even though it's drafty and minimalistically designed to within an inch of vanishing entirely. The quiet is comforting to me. It's protective, providing cover from the outside world while I gather my thoughts and try to make sense of things. After tossing and turning for hours, I switch on the bedside lamp and grab the rabbit's foot keychain from the nightstand. Another memory creeps into my mind of when Jack and I broke up 7 years ago. It was December, and we'd been seeing each other for 3 months. I knew I had to end things. I waited for him, just like tonight. He came home late and sat on the edge of the bed in the dark, twinkling Christmas lights from the tree I'd put up in the living room flickering across his face as I told him. "I can't keep ignoring it," I'd said. He'd been coming home at odd hours, and sometimes I wouldn't see him for days at a time. I could feel him slipping away. He didn't offer any explanations, no elaborate excuses, just, "I'm sorry." It was confirmation enough for me. I wasn't the only woman in his life. I never would be. "I don't think I'll ever be enough for you." "Are you kidding?" he'd said. "Lilith, you're perfect." And I'm still not enough. We'd been living in our cocoon since that night in the back of his squad car. But things changed. We broke out of it, or at least I did. I thought I did. "Please don't do this," Jack had said. I took his hand, running my fingers along the crevices of his palm, trying to memorize him. "Here," I told him, slipping my key to his apartment into his hand. Bright red, like a fire engine or a ruby. He'd given it to me just a few weeks earlier. He didn't argue, just slipped it into his pocket and watched me go. 7 years later, the key ended up in Mimi's hand. He was going to give it to me again, hoping this time things would be different. He even went to the tattoo parlor he'd showed me that first night on my ride along with him. It was an inside joke, something only we would understand. But then a few nights ago, the key disappeared. Mimi took it. Maybe that's why he's been suggesting that we stay at my place. He's been hoping it would turn up, and then he could surprise me. Around 3 o'clock a.m., just as my eyes have grown too heavy to stay open, I hear it. His key in the lock. Footsteps in the kitchen, the clinking of glass as he opens and shuts the refrigerator door. More footsteps, growing closer this time. He doesn't turn on the light switch. A sliver from the overhead bulb in the hallway, slicing through the bed, is enough for him to see me. "Lilith?" he whispers. I don't get up. I can't. If I do, I'll have to face him. "How did you get in?" he says. He takes a seat on the edge of the bed, studying me, trying to figure out if I'm awake. "How many are there?" I whisper, turning my head toward him. The beam of light from the hallway reveals 5 o'clock shadow and weary eyes. He's startled, a smile briefly flashing across his lips until my words sink in. "What?" he says. I reach for the rabbit's foot on the nightstand and hand it to him, propping myself up on one arm. "How long? Were you doing this when we first met?" He rubs the keychain in his hand for a moment, weighing his response. "Lilith, don't do this," he finally says. I thought he'd make up an excuse, some sort of alibi, a horrible mix-up. But he's not. "I loved you," I say. He reaches for my hand, but I pull away. "But there's still one more possible explanation," I tell myself. Maybe he was just seeing her. Maybe that was all. "What did you do to Mimi?" I say. A flicker of recognition crosses his face. He knows what I'm talking about. "What?" he says, incredulous. I can barely bring my voice to a whisper. "I know about the med student's hands. I know about the other parts. What did you take from Mimi?" In an instant, his face changes. The air in the room shifts. I feel him slipping away again, only this time someone or something new emerges in his place. Something not human, dead-eyed, detached. He clenches his fists against his thighs, fixing his eyes on the closet doors. He drops the rabbit's foot to the floor, and it lands with a soft thud against the rug. Turning to me, he says, "You shouldn't have come here." He's right, I shouldn't have. Before I know it, he's on top of me, his hands wrapped around my throat. I try to scream, but no sound comes out. This is what my body has been trying to tell me all day, what my dream was trying to warn me about. As I claw at his hands, adrenaline coursing through my veins and trying to burst through my skin, he tightens his grip, his lifeless eyes boring holes through my face. "You were the perfect woman, Lilith," he hisses, "but you've changed." Spots dance in front of my eyes, and his voice grows distant. I don't have much time before I pass out, and then he can do whatever he wants to me. He can take whatever he wants from me. I continue tearing at his hands, his arms, but he won't budge. As his face draws near, and I feel his breath on my lips, I realize he's right. I have changed. I managed to slip my left arm under the pillow and grip the butcher knife I hid earlier tonight, the one I never thought I'd actually have to use. "Mimi had a mouth like velvet," he whispers, his face damp with rain and sweat and God knows what else. "I took their best parts. I made myself the perfect woman. I don't need you anymore." Slowly, so he won't notice, I slide the knife out from under the pillow, gathering the last of my strength. "Don't fight it," he growls. "It only..." But before he can get the rest out, I thrust my arm up, knife in hand, and gouge it into his throat as hard as I can. Blood spills out of him and all over me. Warm, wet, terrifying, like breaking out of a cocoon. He goes quiet and slumps to the side, leaving me twisting and turning beneath him, his blood salty on my mouth. I can't breathe with the weight of him crushing me, but I keep fighting until finally I'm free.